Last week, driving from Malaysia to Thailand left me stranded.
They don't make cars like they used to.
And this week, well, take a look.
Oh, you're kidding me. Oh no! Oh.
I'm on a green mission from Singapore to an orphanage in Cambodia. They have no reliable energy supply, but I found a machine that can make a huge difference to their lives. It converts used cooking oil to biofuel, and to prove it can work, I'm going to power my car with biofuel and drive over 2,000 kilometers to Cambodia, converting oil along the way. I won't just be buying dinner, I'm going to be asking for the oil it was cooked in to fill my tank. Since I arrived in Malaysia in my biofuel mobile, I've explored everything from palm oil cultivation to extracting methane from pig manure. Collecting used cooking oil to convert to biodiesel for my car hasn't been easy, but I stuck at it and got some eventually. But right now, on my way to Thailand, I've hit my biggest hiccup yet. I pulled over to talk on my phone and have spent 2 hours trying to start my car up again. My phone's dead, and understandably in the dark of the night, no one's stopping to help me.
Hello! I am from England! Would you help me, sir? Hey! Hey! Someone's stopping. Oh! Do you have a jack? I'd like to start again.
Yeah, it's a bit loose. Where'd you try it now?
Dude, thank you so much.
No worries.
You saved me a night out on the highway by myself. Thank you. All right. Thanks a lot. Bye. Bye.
Apparently just a loose cable. Phew, what a relief. And what a guy. Thailand, here I come. With more than 1,000 kilometers still to go through Thailand to Cambodia, I'm not keen to risk another breakdown. I've taken the car in for a service and swapped it for another one.
So I got my new wheels for my Thailand adventure, and it's time for the christening.
Right up until the 1960s, Thailand relied heavily on firewood and wood charcoal as its major sources of fuel. This overuse and more recent factors such as large-scale farming and timber trading have severely depleted Thailand's huge rainforests. When naturally occurring forests are cut down, we lose a lot of resources. And we greatly increase the likelihood of soil erosion, flooding, and global warming. Forests play a major role in absorbing the CO2 emissions from the 12,000 million tons of fuel we burn annually, believed to be causing global warming. I'm on my way to see for myself one of these great gifts of nature, Khao Sok National Park, the largest area of virgin rainforest left in southern Thailand. It's older and more diverse than the Amazon rainforest.
Wow, I'm finally here at our jungle house, which is an eco-resort right in the middle of the Khao Sok rainforest.
Today, tourism plays an important educational role in preserving rainforests like these. This resort is the brainchild of trailblazer Dick Sandler. He built his first eco-resort on the infamous River Kwai in 1972, before the word eco-resort even existed.
To me, it's very simple. Ecotourism is simply an activity or a resort that improves rather than detracts from the natural environment.
So how do you improve the local environment here?
Well, I think part of that is very low density, which is my main principle in developing. You know, we absolutely cut down no trees. And as you'll see, the houses are spaced very far apart so that the guests get the feeling that they're almost alone in nature.
You can see how respect for nature is incorporated into the business. For example, the tree houses are built using locally grown materials, so it doesn't take much, if any, fuel to get it here. The resort also employs locals and helps local businesses, and as a result, they see value in preserving the forest.
We really emphasize giving an experience of nature to our guests. We hope that they maybe gain a respect for nature, pick up from us the respect we have for nature, and in their future choices of places to have a holiday, pick places that are trying to conserve the environment.
With growing populations and growing economies, rainforests are under constant threat from deforestation. By converting Khao Sok into a national park, the Thai government has ensured its survival.
You get elephants here.
Oh, absolutely.
During the 60s and 70s, Khao Sok's thick jungle was the perfect hideout for communist insurgents. Terrified of the rebels, the loggers stayed well away, and the forest and all its inhabitants were left in peace.
I like to think I get out into nature much, and I love nature. But one thing I really hate are bloodsuckers. See this leech here? I've had about 4 of them on me, and this one just jumped on me. I don't know how they get in. So I'm gonna take my shoes off and see if there are any others in here. But let's get this one off first. This blood, not for sale. They come from everywhere, every angle. Let's just get out of here.
You know, getting up.
How do I get down?
Getting up is the easy part. Hey. Whoa.
Kids, do not attempt this at home. All right.
Up until the 1960s, local forests supplied almost all of Thailand's energy. Now, the majority is imported, making its population of 65 million people vulnerable to both supply and price fluctuations. By 2020, Thailand hopes to replace 20% with renewable energy from locally produced biofuels, solar, wind and hydro energy.
Hi.
Nice. My name is
Ed, I hear you're taking me to the dam.
Yes. Okay. You ready to go to the lake?
Yes, very ready.
Okay. Let's jump.
I'm gonna jump on the back. Let's hop on board. So yeah, this is the dam.
Yes. It's not the part dam. Sean Lee.
Gates in the dam can be opened, sending the water downhill through pipes. The moving water turns turbines that are attached to massive generators underground. There's nothing too ugly about this energy source.
Right now, the sun's beating down on the water, and it is an out-of-this-world experience. You have these incredible mountains, these limestone hills behind us in the distance. It couldn't get more serene and beautiful than this.
In 1982, entire villages in the area were flooded to create the lake. You can still see the remnants of the tree trunks sticking out of the water.
We are in as deep as you can get into the wilderness.
The people who lived here were compensated and relocated. As a tourist destination, Chao Liang Lake has created a new source of income for them.
So here we have a really back-to-basics kind of resort, and it's good to see that they're actually recycling their waste, and they obviously know that spoiling the water is no good for the environment and for future tourists.
On the one hand, the lake creates clean, renewable energy. On the other, it meant the destruction of part of the rainforest. But from what I can see, Chao Liang Lake has become a hotspot for educating tourists, and this may be the key to the longevity of the remaining rainforest. It's tough to have to leave the beauty of the rainforest behind to enter Bangkok, Thailand's capital of more than 8 million people. I've got an appointment with a member of parliament to find out more about Thailand's conservation efforts. Traffic is a major headache for this city. They even have transport police who are trained to deliver babies. And I've got a bit of a transport problem myself.
Oh no. I got clamped. I can't believe it. Oh God. I could be waiting here for hours to get this clamp removed. So I need to find an alternative means of transport to get around the city. Whoa. So I got me some new wheels
It's an electric-powered moped which I can also pedal with to recharge the batteries. It ain't pretty, but it sure is green. Woohoo! Bangkok's economic boom during the 80s brought huge increases in vehicle ownership, and air pollution reached seriously worrying levels in the 1990s. But government measures have actually halved the pollution level over the past 15 years. Hopefully, I won't be late for my meeting with the PM. Pedal power! The Thai government has a vision for a greener Thailand. In Bangkok, I see a lot of waste getting thrown into the rivers.
We try to educate the people that waste is also money. And we start to see a lot of people recycling and start to set up factory that would accept waste from all of this. You know, the plastic bottles is money. The good news is that we see the private sector start to do that as a business. And that is the way that is more sustainable than government imposing it.
To reduce air pollution, the government convinced oil companies and car manufacturers to improve their fuel and emission standards. They've also structured taxes to make unleaded fuel and biofuels cheaper. Personally, what makes you such an advocate for green policies?
It's the right thing to do. We provide more jobs for the people. We have less waste as a country, so why not?
MP Kiat points me towards what's known as the green lung of Bangkok. Benjamin, an eco-hotel consultant, has kindly offered to be my guide on the small island of Phra Pradeng.
Yes, so we're arriving here at the Bangkok Treehouse. Yes, be careful. It's
Whoa!
a bit
The Bangkok Treehouse is an eco-resort that has successfully incorporated green policies that save money and lessen their carbon footprint.
The very wood we walk on right now has been reclaimed from old Thai houses.
I noticed as we came over on the boat, there were some builders who threw a whole bunch of plastic bottles into the water.
We have so much work to do in raising awareness among Thai people. It seems that they totally disconnected their action from the impact it's going to have on their own livelihood.
Discarded juice cartons were used to insulate the walls.
In each of those walls, they used plastic from Tetra Pak, the bricks. They used it to insulate as well and reduce the amount of energy needed to cool the unit down. The highlight of this hotel is how they managed to make use of wastes and give a second life to something that would have ended up in the bin.
And Bangkok Treehouse couldn't call itself an eco-resort without a renewable energy supply.
So they have both solar panels and wind turbines.
It's quite something.
Yes, it is. And it generates enough energy to make the kitchen and the restaurant to run, as well as all the external lights. And this is used to heat the water, which will then be used for the guest rooms.
You see the most industrialized part of Bangkok with all the container ships, and then just beyond that, the central business district. The contrast is quite unique. I'm very impressed by the ingenuity here, but I need to head back to the city to get refueled. I'm running low on biofuel for my car, so I need to find some waste cooking oil and convert it for tomorrow's journey. I'm here in Khao San Road, the center of the backpacking universe in Thailand. It's a 1 kilometer strip full of bars, massage parlors, and hawker stands. Perfect to go find some cooking oil. Do you have any waste cooking oil? You don't have any. Do you have any waste oil from cooking? Waste cooking oil? No, don't have? Do you have any waste oil? No, not pad thai. I hear it. Do you hear it? Yeah, I hear the fry. Can I take this? This what?
Not oil,
Oh.
oil and water.
Oil and water, okay. You don't just have the oil.
No.
Oh, okay. Hi, excuse me. I need to get some waste oil, used cooking oil. Okay, all right, so thank you very much. I am exhausted. Liquid gold. I got my oil, finally. So it's time for me to go back, get this converted, fill my tank. Amazingly, about 80% of this used cooking oil will be converted straight into biodiesel, which I can then use to fill my car. So this is Mike. Mike lent me the electric moped. Thank you very much, Mike.
No problem, my pleasure.
And Mike, who has a background in engineering, is curious to see how I make it. So into the converter goes my waste cooking oil. I need to thin the oil by separating and removing the glycerine content. Adding this catalyst will do that, and a dash of methanol to make the fuel burn better. So give that 99 minutes, and at the other end we'll get biodiesel. Why don't we go grab a beer?
Sounds good.
Okay. I've now paid my parking fine, and the wheel clamp has thankfully been removed by the Bangkok police. I'm free to go. As I make my way to the Cambodian border on my biofueled adventure, I hope to see more of Thailand's renewable energy projects. In 1983, Thailand built its first power turbine to research wind energy. Now it plans to be the hub of wind power in Asia by 2022. The construction of several large-scale wind farms is in progress, including the largest wind farm in Southeast Asia. But Mike's told me about a small wind farm that's been operational for many years on Lan Island, an island of just 2,000 people off the coast of Pattaya. It's just a couple of hours away and not far off my route to Cambodia. Mike studied wind turbine technology during his uni years. Thailand's islands may be beautiful, but they face challenges in getting power. Lan Island was only connected to the national grid very recently. Before this, it generated its own power at a small diesel-fired plant, but this often failed and it was really noisy. So they turned to solar and wind power to solve their problem.
Back in 2006, the island still relied on nothing but diesel fuel generators, which burned a lot of fuel, and that's extremely wasteful. So in 2006, 2007, they erected these wind turbines over there. And those wind turbines actually save 200 liters of diesel fuel every day.
The turbines aren't actually running today. Maybe a local can tell us why.
Okay, ขอบคุณมากครับ
What did you say?
The news isn't good. Apparently, since they've attached the cable, they shut down the wind turbines.
Oh. Maybe let's go for a walk.
Yeah, let's go. The reason they aren't running it now is because this island's pretty close to the coast, so they've actually built a cable along it underwater to reach the island from the mainland. Now, they did run the turbines for 5 years, and it was working then, but now that it's become such a popular tourist attraction, they're opening up resorts and hotels, and now they need a bit more power. Wind energy is 100% renewable, and it's clean.
But on a day like today, would you be getting much yield from these solar panels or even the wind turbines?
Well, we picked a pretty bad day to come look at this because there's no wind right now, and you can see it's overclouded. But when this happens, there's some ways of storing energy when they aren't running. When the turbines are running, or when the solar panels are running, if you aren't using all the power that's coming out of them, the excess power can be sent to a pump, which will pump water uphill and store it in a big tank, so that on a day like today, where you don't have any sun, you don't have any wind, they can let the water out of the tank and it comes down and it spins a generator. So it's like you're storing it in a giant water battery.
Still, I want to get a closer look at those wind turbines.
อนุรักษ์ธรรมชาติเนี่ยตึกไหนครับ
Jumping on the tourism bandwagon, the taxi service here is run by locals who used to be fishermen. Our tuk-tuk driver remembers the old days of the diesel generators.
นอนไม่หลับอะ
นอนไม่หลับ
ตอนผมมาอยู่ใหม่ๆมันติดเที่ยงวันถึงเที่ยงคืน
เที่ยงวันถึงเที่ยงคืน
จากเที่ยงคืนไปแล้วคือเงียบสนิทเลย
So he's telling me he's lived on this island for 30 years, and he said they were really loud and noisy and wasteful, and he couldn't even sleep at night because they were on until 12 at night.
Since the recent connection to the national grid via an 8-kilometer long undersea cable, getting power isn't an issue on Koh Lan Island. The wind turbines are now just a tourist attraction. Bit of a shame, really.
แต่เป็นอย่างที่เกาะที่ว่ามันห่างจากพัทยาดึงสายไม่ถึงโอเคอย่างเกาะไผ่เกาะเล็กอะไรทั้งโน้นอ่ะโอเคดีครับ
He was saying he sees people come up here to look at them all the time, and a lot of people come to the island just to see the wind turbines. Well, like us, yeah.
Mike's kindly invited me to the Loi Kratong Celebrations, Thailand's very own festival of lights, where, as the full moon begins to hover in the night sky, people all across the country take their lotus-shaped, candle-lit vessels to the nearest beach and release them. The belief is that if the Kratong floats away from you, the coming year will bring good fortune. If it floats back towards the shore, then your luck may not be so good. For a country that imports the massive majority of its energy needs, Thailand is definitely making steps in the right direction. Local projects like large solar farms, wind farms, and hydroelectricity will hopefully mean that Thailand can meet its growing energy needs well into the future, without it costing the earth.
Okay, there she goes, down into the river. What a way to end my Thailand adventure.
Next week, I arrive in Cambodia at last.
Train hopping!
But I still have much to learn.
And obviously the French like fresh air for their fresh hair. I'm gonna go find me a catfish.